Gender inequality is the social process by which men and women are not treated as equals. This is a phenomenon which has creeped into our civilization as a result of social degeneration in the recent centuries. However, Sanatana Vedic Dharma has over thousands of years accorded highest respect and status for women in ancient civilizations. Many ritual texts emphasize that there is no difference between man and woman as far as the right to perform Vedic rites is concerned, and they often use gender-neutral language when describing God. The Rig Veda contains hymns composed by women such as Lopamudra and Maitreyi. Sage Gargi appears in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, where she poses a volley of questions to sage Yajnavalkya on the nature of the soul, and teases out core teachings from Yajnavalkya that a courtroom of male philosophers failed to. Her name also finds mention in Asvalayana's Grihya Sutras. Maitreyi was an exponent of Advaita philosophy who lived in the later Vedic period and finds mention in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad and many Puranas. Lopamudra, wife of Rishi Agastya, composed the Panchadasi Vedanta mantra belonging to the Shakti tradition, worship of Devi Shakti. She is also the author of one of the 12 versions of Srividya mantra. Women in Sanatana Vedic civilizations could avail of the highest learning. There were many seers and philosophers among them. Ghosha, Apla, Lopamudra, Vishwara, Surya, Indrani, Yami, Romasha, all these names highlight the position and the esteem which Hindu women enjoyed in the Vedic period. One of the 64 manifestations of Shiva, the man-woman form with Parvati constituting the left half of Shiva, is Ardhanariswara. In this aspect, he draws the feminine into his own self. He is half man, half woman. This fusion of Shiva and Shakti representing the male and female halves transcends the distinction between male and female and takes the Lord to the level of beyond gender manifest. Shiva is static, Shakti is dynamic and creative. Shiva is being and Shakti is becoming. He is one, she is many. He is infinite, and she renders the infinite into finite. He is formless and she renders the formless into myriad forms, but both are one. The Shakti tradition exclusively worships the feminine divine in the form of Shakti or Divine Mother. Shrines of the Shakti tradition are found all across the Indian subcontinent. Adi Shakti, the primordial power behind the universe, takes birth as Parvati, therefore she is known as Adi Shakti. She is the mother of Kartikeya and Ganesha. As Lord Shiva is considered the father of the universe, Parvati is considered the mother of the universe. She has divided herself into the material Shakti as Durga or Parvati, Vidya Shakti as Kali, and Maya Shakti as Yog Maya. So, it means that all the goddesses are essentially incarnations of the same principal mother form. Women characters in Sanatana historical stories were either ideal or negative. They were either mothers, wives, or vamps. But there is more to the vulnerable characters of Urmila, Hidimba, Mandodari, Sita, Savitri, and Draupadi. These women had a mind of their own, they trusted their sensibilities, and were blessed with a sharp acumen. The dedication and self-sacrifice of Sita have always dominated her dynamic characteristics. Born from fire sacrifice, Draupadi is one of the most powerful and compassionate characters to come across. If there would have been no Surpankha, there would have been no Ramayana. The damsel is mostly read in a negative light, but she was a character ahead of her times. Even though Urmila insisted on accompanying her husband, Lakshman insisted her to stay back, as he will not be able to protect his brother and Sita if she came along. It was the divine love and dedication of Savitri that she could save her husband's soul from Yam. She was intelligent and an astute speaker. It was her words and wisdom that impressed Yama, and he granted Satyavan's life. Mandodari did her best to make Ravana a better person and kept warning him about his wrong deeds that might lead to a destructive future. Mirabai abandoned her husband's palace to lead the life of a wandering saint. She sang and danced in public, unconcerned for social decorum. Her poems and songs express her intense feelings for Krishna and are still sung and recited by devotees today. In a theosophical debate between Shankaracharya and Mandana Mishra, the latter's wife was appointed to be the judge, obviously because of her superior knowledge and spiritual attainments. Atharvaveda mentions that women were also allowed to observe celibacy and study Vedas. Not only this, the Ashwalina and Gobhil Grihya Sutras and Haridharma Sutra show even the sacred thread ceremony, the Upnayana Sanskara, being performed for women. Women used to teach also. Girls were normally not married till they were in their late teens and sometimes even later. They had a fair amount of choice in the selection of a mate, which is evidenced by the prevalence of the Swayamvara system. The cases of Sita, Damayanti, Draupadi, and Shakuntala are the instances of the choice women enjoyed in choosing their husbands. Rigveda mentions that from birth till death men have to perform hundreds of ceremonies, but not even one of them could be performed without the presence of the wife. Most rituals require a married couple to perform them as a pair. Women have made formidable warriors since the age of kings and queens, and have served and protected their kingdoms with bravery, wit and courage. From Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi to the Rani of Kittur, these warrior women have shown us that courage goes a long way, and that gender has never been an obstacle in women fighting for what is right. Rani Durgavati, the ruling queen of Gondwana, was a warrior of immense bravery, wit and valor. She ruled in her son's name following the death of her husband. When the Mughal general Khwaja Abdul Majid Asif Khan invaded her kingdom with his massive army, she refused to budge and arrived on the battlefield to fight for her kingdom. Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi was one of the leaders of the First War of Independence and holds her place in history as a fearless warrior and a passionate patriot. Following the death of her young son and later husband, she decided to take up arms to fight a law that would allow the British Empire to annex Jhansi into its territories. Rani Abbakka, the ruler of Ullar, a town in Mangalore, was the first Tuluva queen who fought against the Portuguese for over 4 decades when they trained their eyes towards the south after capturing Goa. The Queen of Sivaganga, Velu Nachiyar, predates the Ranis of Kittur and Jhansi as the first female freedom fighter against the British. When her daughter was martyred in the fight against the British, the Queen formed a women's army and named it after her. Maharani Tarabai was the formidable queen of the Maratha Empire, with her tales having spread far and wide. This queen, with her quick wit and strategic skills, brought the mighty Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb to his knees and did not let him gain control of her kingdom, a dream that he had harbored for years. Several queens of the Kara dynasty ruled in Orissa. Sugandha and Didda of Kashmir administered extensive kingdoms as dowager queens. According to Shatpatha Brahman, Sanatana Dharma asserts the philosophy that a woman should be respected and get her due as a mother, sister and wife. The Devi Mahatmayam, or the glory of the goddess, describes her as the fierce and beautiful goddess who fights asuras and wards of evil. She shields the gods against evil and stands up for the worthy. Adi Shakti is considered to be the original creator of the universe. Lakshmi, Saraswati and Parvati are also considered to be forms of Adi Shakti. She is the power that protects and destroys. She represents the fertile, bountiful earth and is the protector of all life form. All goddesses are considered to be a manifestation of her.